Wow, what an episode. The Bad Batch episode 12, Rescue on Ryloth, if not for anything, just shed the biggest light on why the Empire actually got rid of the clones all completely, and one of the prime examples seems to be Captain Howzer. What's up, you beautiful fans? This is Bessie from Star Wars Comics. Welcome to the channel. If you enjoy this video, please don't forget to leave a thumbs up, subscribe for daily videos, and let's get into episode 12, something that I didn't think we would get a clear answer of. They gave us vague hints here and there, but definitively, episode 12 showed why the clones were so unreliable, because it definitely seems that the clones' inhibitor chip just seems to wear off as time goes on. If the Kaminoans don't actually specifically target the inhibitor chip and power it up as they did with Crosshair, then with due time, all these clones become individualistic, same as their host Jango Fett. This is, I think, the biggest issue with the Kaminoans' plan. They never anticipated for the Empire to be so strict and so harsh with their commands. The Republic was a tandem. They joined the Kaminoans. The clones were actually ingratiated in the army together with the Jedi, and they served side by side. They actually valued some of the clones. But it seems that in the Empire, these clones are slowly awakening to their horrible fate, that the Empire is not the Republic, and they simply cannot serve tyranny. As I said, prime example, Captain Howzer. We saw Captain Rex defying Order 66 for a split second. Then the Bad Batch showed us that the defective clones, were the Clone Force 99, the Bad Batch, simply did not adhere to Order 66 at all because their inhibitor chips were faulty as well. Then in episode 2, we learned that Cutler Quain wasn't even affected by the Order, even though he still has an inhibitor chip probably inside his head, until we get to Captain Howzer and the ending of this episode, which saw Captain Howzer actually help defect other clones, his brothers, from the Empire. So the episode basically consisted of Hera contacting the Bad Batch and them scheming a plan to rescue Eleni Syndulla together with Cham Syndulla. With this, they attacked the Imperial refinery. And learning about these events, Captain Howzer rushed to Rampart's office to report that this had happened, but the Admiral ordered him to guard Lesu instead, and other Imperial forces were deployed outside of the Capitol building in order to check things out, but Crosshair was the one who was always suspicious. He actually stayed behind and orchestrated a trap for when the Bad Batch, together with Cham Syndulla, come out, they are to be executed. However, once again, it was Captain Howzer that felt the moral obligation to stop this. The moment came before, when he talked to Cham Syndulla in his cell. Howzer actually wanted to find Hera before the Empire so that he could guard him. At that point, even the audience didn't know if he had flipped. But as time goes on, we definitely learn that Captain Howzer is for real. As the Bad Batch, together with Cham Syndulla, were about to get out, Howzer warned the group that Crosshair had laid a trap. In the end, we saw a very touching moment. Captain Howzer apologized to Cham Syndulla for not going against the Empire sooner, as the general promised that he would soon return to Ryloth. Even though they offered Captain Howzer a way out for him to go with them, Captain Howzer was in the end loyal to the bone to his brothers. He refused to go with them, stating that he didn't want to abandon his fellow brothers, his fellow clones, and try to make sense of this situation. This is the moment when we realize that the clones are not actually all that bad. There might be a clear indication here, it is not completely confirmed, but by watching the episode and that specific scene, we realize that either these specific clones are not affected by the inhibitor chip that much because they didn't serve alongside a Jedi, or that basically the Order has just worn off. Something to do with the inhibitor chip, no doubt. Many of the clones drop their blasters and their shields when Howzer challenges them to seek out the truth. They were here to liberate Ryloth from the Separatists, and now they're pointing their blasters at the same people they liberated. With Howzer and his compatriots now ousted, it was Crosshair who arrested all of them. So for this video, I thought it would be interesting to actually explore what happened to Howzer immediately after this. He was arrested arrested and escorted back into the Capitol building. But what happened afterwards? So there are two options here basically. From the Clone Wars series, we need to give an honorable mention to the Republic Judiciary Central Detention Center on Coruscant, which was a Republic prison, then transformed into an Imperial prison on the same Capitol world. There's no reason to doubt that Howzer, immediately after following this arrest, he was transported into the same prison on Coruscant where he was held for only God knows how long, together with the other clones. Practically with every other clone that betrayed the Empire, quote-unquote. Whether it was a minimum or maximum security prison is up for debate basically, but during Republic times it was seen as a prison where you got a fair trial. During the Empire, we know that there won't be anything like that. And so in exploring other prisons in canon, because there are plentiful prisons in Legends material, in canon we do have a totally horrific prison that is called the Crypt. Now, the Crypt was a black site prison that was maintained by the Galactic Empire in the far reaches of the Anoat system. This was a high-security interrogation center. It was based on the moon of the planet Pujal. In order to prevent mass breakouts, the compounds were all separated by several kilometers. The Crypt was protected by an entire stormtrooper battalion on the ground and by a whole fleet in the orbit. After some time, the Empire sent several hundred prisoners to the Crypt, some including dissidents, traitors, and members of the Alliance to restore the Republic, basically the Rebel Alliance. But the first part, dissidents and traitors, is where the category where Captain Howzer unfortunately falls into. There's a high probability that in order to deter other defective clones that wanted to separate from the Empire, that Captain Howzer will serve as an example. He will be sent to the Crypt to be imprisoned forever and never to be heard of again. However, there is a silver lining to him actually being alive. You see, Dave Filoni doesn't do these things accidentally. If he wasn't killed on the spot by Crosshair, then this gives us the indication that Captain Howzer, now being one of the favorite clones of all Star Wars fans, he might make a comeback in a later episode or in a totally different medium, maybe even in the comics. If he makes a comeback, then this means that he was actually imprisoned on Ryloth right there. He wasn't sent to any other major maximum security prison. He was kept on Ryloth for many years, and this is how he will make another cameo possibly in the future. As I said, Dave Filoni doesn't really do anything by accident, so him being alive gives us another chance to see our beautiful Captain Howzer. But what do you guys think? After being arrested by Crosshair and the Empire, was Captain Howzer sent to a maximum security prison like the Crypt, or was he just detained there on Ryloth until the next time we see him? Leave all of your thoughts down below in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you enjoyed, leave a thumbs up as well. Now you can have an awesome day, Star Wars fans. I'll see you in the next video, and may the Force be with you. Until then.